Hello everyone, my name is James and welcome to Mirror Domains. When it comes to critiquing acting, I rank it out of a possible 2 points that will contribute to the larger score out of 10. I start off with 0 for movies that have terrible acting and move up to 2 points for movies with great acting performances. I say performances because I give 2 points for movies that have more than one good performance in it. As you can see, there are varying degrees, so let's take a look at those now. There is a concept that I use quite often when I attribute something to being adequate. And when the acting is adequate, I call that being serviceable. Meaning the acting was not bad, but there were no real outstanding pieces that I found to be noteworthy. Typically when you react to acting, we define it as good or bad by the way that it makes you feel. If you don't care about the acting, it doesn't affect you at all, that's when it's serviceable. Serviceable defines the middle ground, which equals 1 full point for acting. Then by moving in increments of 0.5 above or below that middle mean, we have 1.5 for when the acting is serviceable, but there usually are 1 or 2 scenes where the acting is outstanding. 0.5 is when the acting is not serviceable, but there is at least 1 outstanding performance that provides at least some saving grace for the craft. Okay, so those are the categories. Let's get into some specifics. It's easy to define good acting because it makes you feel the impact that the actor is trying to convey. It's typically a particular scene that is the hook, the selling part of a movie, the climax, if you will. But truly great acting is supported by the work that is established by the mood and the build-up to that climax that makes it a truly comprehensive piece of art. So when one actor or actress achieves that, I look at ranking the project as at least 1.5 or a 2. Remember, a full 2 points, requires multiple performances or well-executed scenes that permeate throughout the entire piece. Movies that I would give 2 points to for acting are There Will Be Blood, Pulp Fiction, The Godfather, Jaws, and Birdman. These are all great examples of ensemble acting that are highlighted by at least 1 or 2 shining standouts. If you want to watch films where one actor carries the entire thing, check out these films: Buried, Locke, Moon, and All Is Lost. Examples of where movies are serviceable but 1 or 2 performances really stand out typically are action/horror and other genre type pieces, usually where the protagonist stands out and everybody else just is there to fit in, sort of. Movies like that are John Wick, the Amityville Horror. Yes, I thought that Ryan Reynolds was actually really good in that. The Grey, because Liam Neeson hits it out of the park. These are usually more difficult to define, so when I give a movie this, I will take time to address the acting in my movie review. For the most part, when a movie has serviceable acting, it's typically when you have one-dimensional characters. A lot of action films are like this because these movies have time limits for development. They don't have a lot of time to get invested in depth. Depth of a character allows an actor to show what kinds of range they may have. As an audience, when you see a character reacting in different settings to different emotional states, you can see that they have range. Range is the actor's ability to transform into characters and settings that the scene requires. Okay, so let's talk about bad acting. We can all recognize bad acting when we see it. It sticks out like a sore thumb. Thinking about range, when an actor with weak range tries to reach out of that, typically that's when we see displays of poor delivery. We can all agree that the actor is responsible for their performance and usually is the number one cause for poor acting. But we have to be cognizant of film and the type of media that it is. Think about this. I once thought that when I saw poor acting, I would immediately blame the actor. We can't do this because it would be ignoring some other contributors to a bad performance. Let's take a look at 3 instances. 1. The script. Dialogue, for the most part, is written differently for the big screen to add a sense of drama to things. Unfortunately, there are many tropes that writers will fall into that will contribute to poor dialogue. Clichés.
I've been dying a little bit each day since you came back into my life.
What are you talking about?
I love you.
We've all heard this before. It may look good on paper, but once you try to say it and have it be believable, it's a hard thing to do. Bottom line is, even the worst written dialogue will sound questionable out of the best actors. Number 2, the directing. The actor may be good, but the director does not have the ability to pull that performance out of them, or the director simply doesn't have the understanding of what the principles of acting are, and simply just can't direct well. Or they simply just don't care. Number 3, the editing. Editing decisions typically are a systematic problem of number 2, where the director just doesn't understand the craft. You see, for movie productions, they do take multiple takes of scenes, so an actor in one take may give the performance of a lifetime, but the particular take may be left on the cutting room floor. Again, this problem could be the director's fault for not being able to recognize good acting, but let's take a look at it from the editor's perspective. The one particular take where the actor achieved greatness may not be used because it may not fit cohesively into the overall tone of what the scene is setting. It may seem out of place, emotionally, timing-wise, pacing for the scene. Maybe the lighting palette is just not in harmony. These are all factors that contribute to a poor acting performance. We have to be aware of these when we diagnose acting. So, that is my treatise on acting for my ranking criteria. I hope this does 2 things for me. It helps to convey to you that I have some general understanding of what acting is, and 2, it gives you an idea of how I rank acting for my movie reviews. Okay, so if you've liked what you've seen, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe, or watch other ranking criteria movies listed in the cards that you can see. That's all for now.